At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Oh, yep, my microphone is on. It should be working. You should be hearing me. Thank you, Lisa, for the heads up. My goodness. You know, it was one of those things where I didn't have a microphone on, and as I was going out to get my coffee, right, I said, oh, I'll put my microphone after. I got a little distracted and didn't put my microphone on. So now you should hear me. I'm just going to double check. I'm going to check the... Well, there's a bit of a delay. There we go. So yes, you can hear me now. Okay, so as I was saying, it is, good morning. Hey, let's start over. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Krueger. It is Tuesday, April 16th. If you like the weather you saw yesterday, I think you're going to love the weather that we have today. This is that time of the year where it's starting to get warmer. And even with a high of 76 degrees that we saw in Reading yesterday, it's starting to feel a lot warmer out there. You know, I picked my son up from track yesterday, track practice. And, you know, he's out there in the direct sun and it's getting hot. Especially if you're out there doing outdoor activities, you're going to feel it, especially when the temperatures are only in the 50s over the weekend. So it's that time of year to remind yourself to stay hydrated, make sure you're drinking plenty of water when you are outdoors, wear sunscreen, right? Because you're going to get sunburned a lot easier now, especially if you haven't been on the sun lately. So yeah, those are some of the things to kind of think about. But yes, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. We've got some spring weather heading our way. Temperatures above normal for this time of the year. It's going to be warmer today than it was yesterday. As I look outside, I'm not seeing, well, no, there are a couple of clouds. There are a couple of passing high clouds, and that'll be the trend. We'll continue to see some clouds here and there over the next, week here or so. But overall, we're expecting to see lots of sunshine in the forecast as well. So some of you might be wondering, why is he wearing his robe? Well, there's a reason for that. Today is, if you look at the national calendar, and this is just kind of a select few of them that they kind of highlight, National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day. So for those of you who are looking for an excuse to wear your pajamas to work, you can do it now. Go to work, tell your boss it's National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day. You cannot deprive me of this. So yes, it is National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day. Now there are some others in there. National Bean Counter Day. All right. That was founded in 2016. National Orchid Day. Who likes orchids, right? It's that time of the year where we start seeing more flowers blooming. We start seeing more of those wildflowers blooming. So maybe go pick up an orchid and enjoy a beautiful orchid out maybe on your kitchen table or wherever it is you like to put it. National Healthcare Decisions Day. Well, I'm making some decisions about my healthcare here lately. National Healthcare Decisions Day. Lisa says, I work from home. I celebrate this every day. Yeah, so do I. I mean, outside of wearing this when I'm on here with you, I usually have my robe on while I'm working, getting stuff ready for you, getting the weather forecast ready. So, yeah, it's something I think some of us celebrate every day. But for those of you who have to, get in the car, go to work, go to an office, yeah, maybe you want to wear your PJs. I don't know. National Eggs Benedict Day. I know there are a lot of big fans of Eggs Benedict. I'm kind of, either side of it. I guess, what they put it on, That looks like an English muffin, ham, the eggs, the works, right? Maybe some bacon, the works, the sad American diet. But yeah. So, excuse me, get out there and celebrate one of these wonderful things that we have, that we celebrate every day. It's National Something Day always, right? There's always something to celebrate. Today's Taco Tuesday. Maybe you have a taco for lunch after you have your Eggs Benedict for breakfast. I don't know. But there you have it. Well, let's get to the current temperatures out there right now. And you may be feeling those warmer temperatures in some areas, like Redding sitting at 56 degrees, but much cooler. In fact, almost 10 degrees cooler from Redding down to Chico. Now, let me see what the reason be. I just noticed that right now. I'm going to take a look at the current conditions out there and see what's going on at the Redding airport, because I think the winds must be blowing a little bit. You know, that the northwest at about 5 miles per hour. Not really strong winds, but if we go to Red Bluff, and I suppose I could just show you, I don't have a currents map uploaded here. The winds there are from the northwest as well at 5 miles per hour. So I'm not sure what's going on there at the Redding airport, but 55 degrees right now, and out at Red Bluff it's 50, 49. So I don't know, interesting. Maybe there's just some wind-sheltered areas that are experiencing some of those cooler temperatures. There's 28 degrees right now in Bernie, 27 degrees for Alturas, 37 for Susanville. And there you can see temperatures in the 40s along the coast. Look at the high temperatures yesterday, 76 degrees. Now, the average high in the valley is about 71 for this time of the year. So we were just slightly above normal, with the exception of Chico, with a high of about 68 degrees yesterday. But we look at that, and of course we look at the temperatures today, it's warming up. I think some of us in the valley could touch 80 degrees this afternoon. It's not out of the question. Trinity County, low 70s. In fact, I'm expecting 60s and 70s for the higher elevations. As you get up, say, above 4,000 or 5,000 feet, you get into the 60s, but say down to about 3,000 feet, maybe in the 70s. 57 degrees along the coast and partly cloudy skies there. Look at the rain so far for the season. This is including what we saw over the weekend. And, you know, a lot of times we have this knee-jerk reaction that when it starts to dry out and warm up, we start to not overreact, but tend to react to it and say, oh my gosh, we need the rain, we're in a drought. Okay, number one, we are not in a drought. Number two, we can enjoy this weather. We can enjoy the non-rainy days. Now, I know there are some of you who just like rainy days in general. Good for you, that's great. But for those of you who have that knee-jerk reaction to just panic because it's not raining when it should be, or whatever, right? It's okay to go outside and enjoy and not feel bad about enjoying this beautiful weather, because you can do it right there. Look at Redding at the airport, over 100% of average. And the thing is, I don't have the averages for West Redding, but I bet you it's more than 100%. Red Bluff, 103% of average. Look at Eureka, Crescent City, well over 100%. You can see Mount Shasta City, almost 120% of average. Really, the only deficit we have right now is in Montague, near Wairika, at 88% of average. But there you can, of course, see 110% of average for Alturas. Can't complain about that. And, of course, then we go to the next level, and we talk about the lakes. They're full, almost, right? Almost full. The capacity is 95% for Lake Shasta right now, 84% Trinity Lake, and 90% Oroville. I mean, we're only 7 feet from the crest of Lake Shasta, or Shasta Lake. Lake Oroville, 22 feet, and Trinity about 25%. 25 feet, that is. So we can't complain about that. And then to the next level, these lakes are going to stay full. Why? Because we've got snowpack, which is mostly above 100%. The only place where we don't have 100% is the percent of April 1st average in the Southern Sierra at 98%. But normal to date, over 100%. That's the case for the Central Sierra, North Sierra, and Trinity as well. And statewide average is also over 100% across the board. So for the most part, most of Northern California is above normal for rainfall. That's good for the water table and, and things like that, right? Then, of course, the lakes are full. For the most part, we've got very high lakes. And on top of that, we have that nice reserve to keep those lakes full during the summer season when we're getting that gradual trickle of that snow melting into those lakes. So we're doing okay. We can't complain about that. Things are fantastic when it comes to the water content that we have here in Northern California. Now, we take a look at Main Street, Chico, and you can see that, traffic's flowing smoothly. Things are looking good there. We take you out to Highway 99 at Neal Road. Traffic's flowing smoothly. We don't have much in the way of cloud cover. Things are looking pretty good over there as well. How about Redding? We take you out to Redding right now. And, of course, we don't have the moving camera, but you got Sundial Bridge, Highway 44, Sundial Bridge Drive. There you can see. Looks like traffic is okay there as well. We take a look at Crescent City, Harbor District right now, and we got some clouds out there this morning. In fact, you can kind of see off in the distance. We got some color coming into those clouds, making for a gorgeous sunrise, I think, for some of you in the Crescent City area, but pretty quiet over there this morning. We take you out to Lake Oroville, North Forebay, and you can see just a little bit of a light breeze there. It looks like maybe a boat or something went by because we got something awake. It looks like something floating in the water off in the distance there. And of course, now we're going to take you out to Elk Country. This is just north of Trinidad. Of course, you may know that RV resort out there. It's awesome. A lot of times you can see the elk out there. Of course, we're not seeing that now, but looks like we are seeing some low clouds in some areas out there along the coast. So let's get you to the satellite image here. And you can see there's actually a weak disturbance. You see that little dip in the jet stream there, those clouds? That's a weak disturbance. The clouds over the Pacific Northwest and over us. So that is kind of what's moving through this morning, is going to give us a few clouds. But then I do expect to see some clearing again later on in the afternoon. In fact, we take a look at Futurecast. You're going to see those high clouds this morning. And then we go into the noon hour, mainly sunny skies, and maybe some cumulus clouds developing in the mountains later on this afternoon. So we'll call it partly cloudy for some of the higher elevations. And then going into tonight, some leftover clouds, maybe some fog and low clouds developing along parts of the coast as well later tonight and into tomorrow. Now, we're going to be looking at those winds for the most part, not an issue. And they won't be. It's going to be just more of just that wind that's a disturbance. You're like, it's in the way. It's annoying, right? But gusty winds along the coast later on today. You can see it's not that bad elsewhere, although it looks like up to the north and east, those winds about 20 miles per hour. Now for tomorrow, I'm expecting to start the day off with some gusty north winds for the valley. Could see 15 over 20 miles per hour. That'll continue through the morning into the noon hour tomorrow. And then by the afternoon, those winds should start to subside. But again, notice the coast. It's still, 15 to 20 miles per hour there. It looks like Thursday, the winds should be a bit calmer across the board. So here's what we have in store for us today. Temperatures are going to be hovering around that 80-degree mark, close to 80 in most cases for the valley. Otherwise, in the mountains, you're talking 60s and 70s, low 70s for Trinity County, and for the coast in the mid to upper 50s for those daytime highs. Take a quick look at your 7-day outlook region by region for the valley. You can see those temperatures are just going to be around 80 degrees, give or take, for the next 7 days. This is one of those weeks where it's just going to be I'm going to be pretty much saying the same thing every day, right? Just beautiful, sunny, warm days. There you can see for the coast, a few clouds here and there. There's going to be a slight dip in our temperatures early next week, which we'll get into a little bit later here in our deeper dive forecast. So that's something to stick around for, right? We got those cooler temperatures possibly going into early next week. So there you have it, folks. Taking a look at that. Let's see what's going on this morning for all of you. Everybody's saying good morning. I appreciate that. Good morning to everyone. Good morning. Have yourselves a great day. Lisa's saying that she works from home every day. I know that there are probably a lot of people who work from home. Well, we're going to be starting a new segment that will be running here every Tuesday on Coffee with Krueger. And that is our Financial Freedom segment, which is a segment that is brought to you by Courtney and Anne-Marie from Stifel. So let's go ahead and take a look at their quick words of advice about your finances.
Let's talk about your money. Today, we are talking about what kind of investor you are. And the answer to that is, it depends. And one of the things we look at is your goals. We also look at your time horizon and your risk tolerance. And risk tolerance can really depend on your experience investing, whether you've had a lot or a little. And so that's really taken into account as well. This has been Anne-Marie and Courtney helping you simplify investing.
All right, I want to remind everyone that I do have some radio partners, 104.3, 106X, and News Talk KQMS. I do weather updates with them every weekday morning, 7:30, around 7:30 at KSHAS. It's 7:50 in the morning on 106X with Logan Kane in the AM and with Stephen Clark on News Talk KQMS just shortly after 8 o'clock in the morning. All right, let's go ahead and get to our forecast, which is made possible by Wind River. Excuse me, at Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Thanks to Wind River for their support and for their sponsorship. I got a little bug in my throat here. Excuse me while I take a little sip. I don't know, that was interesting there. All right, good. All right, so again, we're seeing that little weird anomaly out at the Reading Airport right now. The temperature of about 56 degrees. There must be some winds or something blowing around a little bit here in Reading this morning. Otherwise, you can see the calmer winds. As a result, cooler temperatures, right on the upper 40s for most of us in the valley. 34 degrees in Susanville, 36 for Quincy, 27 degrees right now in Alturas, and you've got those low to even some upper 40s out along the coast. So highs are climbing above normal this week. We've already noticed it yesterday. We saw that. Temperatures will be even warmer here for today. Breezy north winds at times. Now, I'm not expecting a major wind event, okay? But every once in a while, just don't be surprised if you're out going for a walk or for a jog or whatever, you're outside and you're still breezy out there. It's just going to be kind of those passing breezes that we'll see from time to time. Dry conditions all week long and no major storms, no heat waves heading away anytime soon. Yes, it's going to be warmer, but we're not looking at any heat waves. The high temperatures we saw yesterday, it was much warmer, 15 to 20 degrees warmer than what we saw over the weekend. So definitely noticeable. I think many of you may have noticed it if you spent any time outdoors yesterday. And you're going to notice a slight increase here for today. There's a quick look at your neighborhood forecast. Neighborhood by neighborhood, around 80 for the valley. I think some of us could touch 80 degrees today. Temperatures in the 50s though for the coast and upper 60s and some low 70s for the higher elevations. Okay, so we take a look now at what we got going on with that satellite image here. Right here. This is that weak disturbance passing through right now. And this is important to take note too, because of course it's bringing us a couple of the high clouds that we're seeing out there this morning, but it's also what's keeping our temperatures at bay. You see, we got this ridge of high pressure right here. See the arc on the clouds right here? We've got this ridge. As this ridge builds and gets stronger and stronger and works more and more to the north, our temperatures increase more and more. So if we suppress that building of that ridge to the north, we don't see our temperatures really increase. And that's why I'm not seeing any major heat waves, because once this passes through, yes, we'll see that ridge build a little bit, but then we got another storm system off to our west, and there's another one behind that. And as those kind of plow through, it kind of flattens out that ridge. You can see that here. So there's that storm system that's passing through, giving us some of those clouds this morning. You see the ridge kind of rebounds a little bit here as we go in towards Wednesday, Thursday. But then there you can see a piece of energy breaks off from this trough. It kind of plows over that ridge. So instead of having this nice big arc, we've got a flat flow here. This is what we call typically kind of a zonal flow type pattern, where you can see the jet stream is right here, fairly flat, no big ridges, no big dips in the jet stream. Now, and the reason I mention this is because to the south, that's typically where the warmer air is and the colder air. So we tend to see the two of them kind of battling it out, one trying to overtake the other. And we're just not seeing really one overtaking the other. Now you can see again that storm system passing off to the north. Now what's interesting is this little dip in the jet stream here we have for early next week. This really wording should be cool, because we're not talking about a major drop in our temperatures going into early next week. We're not going to go from the 80s back down to the 50s again, but more like the 80s to the 70s, maybe about a 5-degree drop or so, but nothing major, nothing all that noticeable. And really that makes it a little bit more pleasant out there. But we do have above normal temperatures expected here in the long range. Now, taking a look at the chances for rain, just not seeing it. Again, you can see these storm systems riding to our north. You've got a little bit of snow off to our north and east. You've got this storm system right here, which really is having a hard time keeping itself together. In fact, as it starts to make its way towards Canada and even the Pacific Northwest, that band of rain really starts to break apart. But again, the main impact of this low pressure system as it rises to the north is it just prevents this ridge from building any stronger. Now, as a result, yes, we're still seeing those warm temperatures, but we're going to also see some of those high clouds passing through. There's that cooler air moving in. So again, from say 83 degrees in the valley to say 78. Right? So you're not talking about a massive drop in those temperatures. And this is weak enough that it's just not going to bring us any rain. I'm not anticipating any rain with this. Now you can see a little bit of green there on the map. What I'll say about this is from this point forward, we're drying things out. The atmosphere is getting drier and drier. So a lot of times when you go through a long stretch of dry weather, the atmosphere is pretty dry. So as a storm system passes through that wants to bring in rain, we've got to saturate the atmosphere a bit first. So when you're talking about an already moisture-starved system and an already very weak system, it probably won't have much of an opportunity to really saturate the atmosphere enough for us to get any rainfall out of it. So I think the main impact will be, again, slightly cooler temperatures and a few more clouds entering the picture. That actually moves out by the time we go into Tuesday of next week. High pressure starts to build in and temperatures warm back up by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Now, looking at the precipitation outlook, yeah, we're going to be most likely in that near normal to below normal category. And quite honestly, closer to that below normal category because I just don't see any rain in the forecast anytime soon, anything significant at least. So again, we'll talk about the winds here real quickly because as we go through the day today, you'll notice the winds picking up to the north and east and the winds picking up for the coast, in particular around Crescent City. Now tomorrow morning, I'm seeing an increase in those winds from the north tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Now in the middle of summer, this is something we'd probably be a little concerned about and really should be a little concerned about when it comes to fire danger, right? Because now we're seeing that drying north wind to start the day off on Wednesday. And really even going into Wednesday around noon, we still have a bit of that breezy north wind. But the good news is the wind should start to subside by 5 p.m. Wednesday. And then going through the day on Thursday, the wind's not that much of a factor, even along the coast or even to the east, although a little breezy coming in from the west for places like Susanville. Now, looking at your wave heights for today, look at what happens as we go into Wednesday. We're just not seeing much change there. So we're not going to see much change at all. And as a result, we still have those gusty winds out there. North winds at 15 to 25 knots. Small craft advisory through this afternoon. That'll probably be upgraded as we go into the evening here, as those winds may begin to, and those waves heights begin to kind of increase as well. Now looking at your Trinity County neighborhood forecast, temperatures will be in the low 70s along the Highway 299 corridor there. So should be just a gorgeous day out there. You head to the south, a little bit cooler with places like Ruth only getting up to about 68, 63 for Mad River. Out towards the north coast in southern Humboldt County, there you can see Garberville about 69 degrees, 63 degrees for Honeydew, and Shelter Cove, a high of about 60. And taking you up to the north, Ferndale, 57 degrees for Rio Dell, and Fortuna, about 58 degrees. Look for a high of 62 for Blue Lake, 73 degrees for Willow Creek and Hoopa, about 71 degrees. And up north, a high of 74 for Orleans, Oric, 58, and Gasquet, about 61 degrees. Here's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, and there you can see the Highway 96 corridor, temperatures upper 60s to low 70s, mid 60s though as you head out towards central Siskiyou County. In Scott Valley, temperatures in the mid 60s, give or take. Fort Jones 63, 66 for Etna. Callahan a bit warmer with a high of about 67 degrees. Taking a look at your central and eastern Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Upper 50s in the north and east to around 60, but places like Mount Shasta about 67, 70 for Dunsmuir, and 68 degrees in McLeod. And your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Look for a high of about 61 for Fort Bidwell, a little bit warmer out towards Canby, Alturas, and Likely with a high of about 64 degrees. In your eastern mountains neighborhood forecast, mainly in the 60s, but some of those lower elevations and kind of you start getting the foothills, more like the upper 60s to low 70s there. We take you out to Lake Almanor, Lassen Park. We got those temperatures in the mid to upper 60s for the lake, but for the park, mainly in the low to mid 50s. And taking you southward, look for a high of 69 degrees for Paradise, 63 for Mineral, 70 in Doyle as well as Susanville, and 73 in Quincy. Let's take a look at your Valley neighborhood forecast, and this is of course brought to you by NorCal Tractor with temperatures in the upper 70s. Now, as I mentioned, if we get up to 80 degrees today and even tomorrow, I won't be surprised. I mean, you can see I've got 80 degrees for Anderson, 79 for Cottonwood, 78 for the city of Shasta Lake, and Lakehead about 74 degrees. And looking at that 7-day outlook for Redding, The temperature's around 80 for today all the way through Friday. Really, that's what we're looking at. Temperature of around 80, give or take. A little bit warmer over the weekend. There's that slight dip in the temperatures, as I was talking about on Monday. So again, it's not going to be all that noticeable. So again, we do have that slight dip in the temperatures, but nothing to really write home about. And that's really going to be the extent of it all. So there you have it, folks. That is a look at your forecast here, and that is your Coffee with Krueger. We're going to wrap things up because, you know, there's not a whole lot going on this morning. What's everyone got going on this morning? Anybody got any outdoor activities, doing some yard work? Looks like we've got Frank Donatali. I apologize, I probably just butchered your name. From Monterey, watching from Monterey. Now, Frank, do you live in Monterey? Are you just kind of seeing what's going on up here? Have you heard about Weather NorCal and thought, I got to check this out? Monterey is kind of just south of where I consider myself, consider that to be part of the viewing area, so just south of that area. I know that I've been getting some people out in Lake County, hoping to maybe get some coverage, and that's something that I would love to see maybe in the future. But yeah, for me, I've actually been taking care of the pool. As we get into this warmer season, a lot of times I kind of let the pool go in the winter, and then next thing I know, as I look outside, I'm like, ooh, the pool's looking kind of green. So I ended up getting some pool shock the other day, and threw it in there. And I tell you what, that stuff is, it's like a magic. It's magic. You throw it in there, you put the pool pump on kind of at a high speed, gets things flowing and things going through there with that pool shock, and it just clears it right up. So, and then there's this other thing that I usually get that you put in the filter, and it helps prevent any of that algae from growing throughout the summer season. So pretty good stuff. I love it. Bill Carlton saying yard work today. Always seems like this time of the year there's always some kind of yard work, right? Whether you got to mow the lawn or trim the bushes. Frank, you're saying my wife is Christine, the psychic. In Palisadro, just working. Okay, so you're in. So you're just working right now. You're kind of working outside of town. Cool. Well, tell her I said hi. It's been a while. Let's see here. So yard work seems to probably be the thing. You know, and it's kind of funny too. This is that time of the year where we start hearing more mowers and people with their leaf blowers and all that good stuff. So a lot of times I have to record and like, oh, I got to wait till that person's done, weed eating or mowing their lawn or using the leaf blower, because I don't want to have my weather recording with that in the background. Yard work is the thing. I'm going to probably go for a walk after Coffee with Krueger. I like to kind of get a little, just a little walk in there. Then I may try to go for a jog a little bit later, maybe with my dog Nessie, although it's getting that time of the year, it's getting pretty warm for her. And you got to make sure that your dog, if you do take them out, that they've got plenty of water, that they stay hydrated, and also remember to protect their paws. When it does start getting warm out there, that concrete can get pretty warm for their paws and they can burn their paws. So we've got to make sure that we protect our pets as well. Looks like we've got cleaning for senior citizen. I love that. Cleaning for senior citizen. All right. Maybe you're cleaning for a loved one who's a senior citizen. Maybe go to their house to help them clean. That's always a nice thing, kind of a good gesture to help somebody out. Butch saying good morning. How you doing this morning? Anything else going on today? I don't really think so. Of course, we've got this weekend, you got the Red Bluff Roundup that is going to be happening. So I know that they've got some events going on this week. Next week is the big Cool April Nights. That's really when we start seeing more and more cars in Reading. A lot of the Cool April Nights cars, we start seeing more and more of their show and shines, more events of people kind of coming in. And by the way, I'm in the process of, I'm going to go out to a particular site where the Cool April Nights cruise is, and I'm going to see if the Wi-Fi signal is strong enough that I'll be able to go out live. And I'll be able to broadcast that live on Facebook, Twitter, kind of like what you're seeing here now. If you're watching on Roku or Amazon Fire Stick or on YouTube, you'll be able to watch the Cool April Nights cruise live. How exciting and cool would that be? I mean, it seems like that would be a first time ever that we'd really have that kind of on a broadcast like that. So well, here's hoping for the best. I'm going to be going out to that site and location this morning. So if you happen to be watching the 24-hour streaming channel and you see a little break and maybe a shot of East Cypress Avenue, it's because I'm testing out the signal to see if it works. So I'll maybe say hello to you as I can maybe disrupt the programming for just a bit to see if it works. But I'm really excited about that. So yeah, there's some really big things going on here in the next couple of weeks. And of course, as you know, next month, something I'll be promoting here in the next couple of weeks is, of course, the Reading Rodeo is coming up as well. So we're excited because I'm going to be getting some tickets. I'll be able to have some giveaways that we'll be doing. So be on the lookout for that as well. We're going to kind of try to iron out the details on how we're going to do the giveaway. But I've got a few ideas in store. Should be a lot of fun. So a lot of great things, a lot of great events going on here, and we're hoping to get more. And I'm going to try to see if we can do a little bit of coverage. I've got an inside source with the Red Bluff Roundup, who will be giving us some information and some reports out there from the Red Bluff Roundup. And of course, you will see who that is when the time comes. That'll be in the next day or two. So just chatted with her yesterday, and we're working on getting some reports for later this week. And then maybe if things work out properly, we'll be able to have her out live during Coffee with Krueger out at the Red Bluff Roundup, which is, between 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Usually not a whole lot going on there, but she will have the inside scoop of what's going on and, some of the big events and everything that's going on there at the Red Bluff Roundup. So those are some of the big events going on. So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, I am going to leave you with some cameras and some music as we wrap up Coffee with Krueger this morning. Do you go to the pond skim in Shasta? Do you have footage? Oh, no, I didn't go. That would have been fun. I know my son was excited to maybe go check that out, but I think that was this past Sunday. And no, I did not. That would have been neat though. Pretty crowded, I would be willing to guess. But yeah, that's how they wrap up the season. All right, folks. Well, yeah, good point there. But no, I don't have any footage. Wish I did. Thank you all so much for watching this morning. I'm going to leave you again with a couple of cameras here and see what it looks like out there this morning. And in the meantime, I'd love for you to go out there, enjoy your day, have a great day, stay hydrated, protect your pet's paws if it's too hot on that concrete. And we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger at 6:30.